My name is Amelia, and I'm a freelance graphic designer. My sister Olivia, aged 35, is married to Mike, and they have 4 kids. Jack 12, Ava 10, James 8, and Aria 6. Our mother, Evelyn, 62, has always played favorites. Guess who wasn't the favorite? For the past 8 years, our family has made it a tradition to spend 2 weeks every summer at Mom's beach cottage in North Carolina. It's a lovely 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home with a stunning view of the ocean. Sounds like plenty of space for a family gathering, right? Wrong. Every year, like clockwork, Mom would call me in March with the same excuse. Amelia, darling, I'm so sorry, but there just isn't enough room at the cottage this year. Olivia's family is so big now, and you know how the kids need their space. Maybe we can figure something out next year. Meanwhile, Olivia was treated like royalty. Mom would spend weeks preparing for their arrival, stocking the house with their favorite treats, buying new beach toys for the kids, and essentially rolling out the red carpet. Olivia's family would descend on the cottage, acting like they owned it, soaking up all the perks and behaving as if they were the only ones who mattered. The worst part? Every summer, my kids, Alex 9 and Mia 7, would ask why they couldn't go to Grandma's beach cottage like their cousins. What was I supposed to tell them? That Grandma didn't think we were important enough. It wasn't just about the vacation. For 8 years, I watched Mom prioritize Olivia in every way, treating me like an afterthought. Olivia married her college sweetheart. Mike, right after graduation, had 4 kids in 6 years and somehow became Mom's golden child. Mike works in sales and earns a decent living, but nothing extraordinary. Still, they were always seen as the successful ones. Me? I started my graphic design business from scratch 4 years ago after my marriage ended. I work grueling hours, often 12-hour days, to grow my client base and keep food on the table for my kids. But because I work from home and don't have a traditional 9 to 5, Mom always acted like I was jobless. Amelia's still figuring things out, she'd tell the neighbors during family gatherings. Olivia, with her stable life with Mike and the kids, loved to make little digs whenever we were together. It must be nice to have such a flexible schedule, she'd say, flashing a fake, patronizing smile. I could never handle not knowing where my next paycheck was coming from. The beach house situation was just the most glaring example of the favoritism. Every year, I'd see Olivia's endless Instagram posts of their perfect family vacation at Mom's cottage. Kids building sandcastles, Mike grilling on the deck, Olivia lounging in a hammock with a drink. Meanwhile, my kids and I spent those 2 weeks at home, maybe hitting the neighborhood pool or watching movies. Last summer was the breaking point. I had just landed my biggest client yet, a software company that hired me to revamp their entire brand identity. It was a 6-figure contract that would set us up for the year. I shared the news at Mom's birthday party in June. "That's great, honey," Mom said, barely looking up. "Maybe now you can think about getting a more stable job." Olivia snickered. "Come on, Mom, Amelia loves playing on her computer. It's not like she's ready for a real career." I bit my tongue, as I always did, but later that night, when Mom gave her annual not enough room speech about the beach house, Olivia twisted the knife. "You know, Amelia," she said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "maybe if you had a real job, you could afford your own vacation. The rest of us shouldn't have to give up our family time just because you can't get your life together." Mom chimed in. "Olivia's got a point, honey. Mike works so hard and those kids deserve their vacation. Maybe if you plan better." I swallowed my anger like I had for the past 7 years. "Of course," I said. "I hope you all have a great time." But inside, I was done. Completely done. That tech startup deal was just the start. Word of my work spread, and soon I had more clients than I could handle. I raised my rates, got selective with projects, and started building something bigger than a freelance gig. By October, I had enough steady income to hire 2 employees. By December, I landed 3 more major corporate clients. In February, I was looking for office space and planning to expand into digital marketing services. The money was rolling in, but I didn't tell my family. I kept driving my old Honda, living in the same modest house, and acting like nothing had changed. As far as they knew, I was still scraping by. In March, right around the time Mom would call with her not enough room speech, I made an offer on a small beachfront resort about 2 hours from her cottage. It wasn't massive, just 12 rooms, a restaurant, and a gorgeous stretch of private beach. The previous owners had let it fall into disrepair and were eager to sell. I bought it for a fraction of its value and hired a management company to handle daily operations while I focused on renovations. By May, the resort was transformed. I invested about $200,000 in upgrades, new guest cottages, fully renovated rooms, a stunning infinity pool overlooking the ocean, and a kids' play area that would make theme parks jealous. The restaurant served five-star cuisine, and the whole place looked like it belonged in a luxury travel magazine. I named it Seaside Haven Resort, and it was breathtaking. Most importantly, it was mine. All mine. It opened quietly in June with a few paying guests to iron out any kinks. Everything ran smoothly, the reviews were glowing, and summer bookings were already pouring in meanwhile. Olivia was posting her usual pre-vacation content on social media. Pictures of the kids shopping for beach gear, Mike packing the car, and captions about their cherished family tradition at Grandma's. Mom called me in late June with her predictable script. "Amelia, honey, I'm so sorry, but..." I cut her off. "I know, Mom, not enough room, no worries, Alex, Mia, and I have other plans this year anyway." "Oh, that's nice, honey," she said. "Where are you going?" "Just a little place I found, nothing special." In the first week of July, I took my kids to Seaside Haven. I'd reserved the largest suite, a two-bedroom beachfront unit with a private balcony and direct access to the shore. Alex and Mia were in awe. "Mom, this place is amazing," Mia squealed, running around the suite. "Are we really staying here for 2 whole weeks?" "We sure are, sweetheart." We spent our days on the private beach, ate delicious meals at the restaurant, swam in the infinity pool, and enjoyed activities I'd planned like paddleboarding, deep-sea fishing, and kayaking. It was the best vacation we'd ever had, and seeing my kids so happy was worth every penny I'd invested. But the best was yet to come. In August, I started making calls. First, I reached out to my Uncle Benjamin and Aunt Carol, Mom's brother and sister-in-law. They'd always been kind to me and my kids, and they had 3 children around Alex and Mia's age. "Hey, Uncle Benjamin, I'd love for you to come spend Labor Day weekend at this resort I know. All expenses paid, food, activities, everything. I just want to treat the family to something special." "Amelia, that's incredibly generous, but we couldn't possibly." "I insist. Business has been good, and I want to share it with the people who matter to me." Next, I called my cousin David, Mom's nephew, and his wife, Jennifer. They had 2 teenagers and had been struggling financially since Jennifer lost her job. "Dave, how would you like a long weekend at a 5-star resort? My treat. I know things have been tight, and I thought the family could use a break." I called my dad's sister, Aunt Nancy, and her husband. I invited my second cousins, the Martinez family, who were always scraping by but were some of the kindest people you'd ever meet. I reached out to everyone who had ever made me and my kids feel included and valued. By the time I was done, I'd invited 22 members of our extended family to spend Labor Day weekend at Seaside Haven. I booked the entire resort, hired a private chef to cater everything, and planned activities for all ages. I didn't invite Mom or Olivia. The Labor Day weekend was incredible. My relatives were blown away by the resort, often asking how I could afford such a lavish event. I just smiled and said, "I had a good year." On Saturday night, Uncle Benjamin pulled me aside. "Amelia, this is remarkable. You've really done something special here. Your mom must be so proud." "Mom doesn't know," I said casually. "What do you mean?" "I mean I didn't invite her or Olivia." Uncle Benjamin looked confused. "But why? This is a family event." "Benjamin, for 8 years, Mom has told me there's no room for me and my kids at her beach house. Every summer, we've been excluded because Olivia's family takes up too much space. So this year, I decided to host my own family event, and unfortunately, there just wasn't enough room for everyone." The truth spread quickly among the group. Everyone knew about the beach house situation. They'd heard Mom's excuses and Olivia's snide comments over the years. Some had even quietly asked Mom why I wasn't invited to the summer vacations. On Monday morning, as everyone checked out and headed home, my phone started ringing. It was Mom. "Amelia, where are you? Benjamin just called me with some wild story about you owning a resort. That can't be true." "It's true, Mom." "What? How is that possible? You don't have that kind of money." "Apparently, I do." There was a long pause. "Amelia, I'm confused. If you could afford something like this, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you invite us?" "You told me there wasn't enough room at your beach house." "I'm telling you there wasn't enough room at my resort." "That's completely different. The beach house is." "Is what, Mom? Not big enough for everyone?" "Well, look at that. Neither is my resort." "But Amelia, we're family." "Funny how you remember that now." I hung up. 20 minutes later, Olivia called. "What is wrong with you?" she screamed. "Mom's crying her eyes out. How could you do this to us?" "What did I do, Olivia? Have a family gathering. I thought you'd be happy. You always said I should be more successful." You know what I mean? You deliberately excluded us. Just like you and Mom have excluded me and my kids for 8 years. That was different. The beach house really isn't big enough for everyone. And my resort really isn't big enough for everyone. Funny how that works. This is petty and vindictive. Amelia, you're better than this. No, Olivia, I'm exactly this. I'm tired of being treated like the lesser family member when I work twice as hard as anyone else. I'm tired of my kids being left out because you decided your family is more important than mine. The next few weeks were intense. Mom called daily, sometimes pleading, sometimes angry, always demanding to know why I was punishing her. I raised you better than this, Amelia. This isn't how family behaves. You're right, Mom. Family doesn't exclude each other like you've excluded me for the past 8 years. I never excluded you. There really wasn't enough room. There was room, Mom. You just gave it all to Olivia. Every year you chose her family over mine. Every year you made my kids feel like they didn't matter. Did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you think they wouldn't notice? Olivia took a different approach. She started telling other family members I was cruel and vindictive, hurting innocent kids over some petty grudge. But the relatives who attended the resort weekend knew the truth. They'd heard Mom's excuses and Olivia's jabs for years. They'd seen me smile and brush it off despite being consistently excluded from family events. Uncle Benjamin actually called Mom out, telling her she owed me an apology. Evelyn, that woman has done nothing but be gracious for years while you treat her like a second-class family member. Now she's more successful than any of us, and she's sharing that success with the people who actually value her. Aunt Carol backed him up. The way Olivia talks to Amelia is appalling. Evelyn, I've heard her make those snide comments about Amelia's job. Amelia has every right to celebrate her success with people who support her. The resort continued to thrive. The Labor Day weekend generated amazing buzz, and I was fully booked through the fall. I hired more staff, extended the restaurant's hours, and started planning winter upgrades. My graphic design business was also booming. The resort's success gave me confidence in other areas of my life. I charged higher rates, took on bigger projects, and my reputation in the industry kept growing. Alex and Mia were thriving, too. They were proud of what I'd accomplished and excited that we could now enjoy the kinds of luxuries their cousins had always had. They also learned a valuable lesson. Hard work pays off, and you don't have to tolerate mistreatment just because someone is family. Christmas rolled around, traditionally hosted at Mom's house. She called me in early November. Amelia, I hope you're coming to Christmas dinner. I know we've had our differences, but it's important for family to be together. Will there be enough room for everyone, Mom? Of course there will. Don't be silly. Interesting, your dining room table seats 8. Olivia's family is 6. You and Dad make 8. Where exactly are Alex, Mia, and I supposed to sit? We'll figure something out. We always do, don't we? You mean like how Olivia's family gets the main table and my kids and I get folding chairs in the kitchen? Thanks, but we'll pass. Amelia, you're being unreasonable. I'm being realistic. For the first time in my life, I'm being realistic about how this family operates. Instead, I invited Uncle Benjamin, Aunt Nancy's family, and the Martinez family to Christmas dinner at the resort. The chef prepared an incredible meal, there was plenty of space for everyone, and the kids had a blast playing on the beach afterward. In December, Mom tried again. Amelia, I was thinking maybe we should have Christmas at your resort this year. It'd be nice for everyone to see what you've built. That's a great idea, Mom, but the resort is booked through New Year's. I don't have space, but you could certainly make a reservation. You could make an exception for family. I could, for the family that treats me like family. What do you want from me, Amelia? Do you want me to apologize? Fine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you felt left out at the beach house. I was just trying to make everyone happy. No, Mom, you were making Olivia happy. The math doesn't add up. Olivia has 4 kids, I have 2. Apparently your math says 4 is more important than 2. Mom hung up on me. I spent Christmas Eve at home with Alex and Mia, then drove to the resort for Christmas dinner with the family members who had become my true support system. We had 25 people there, everyone except Mom, Dad, Olivia, and her family. It was the best Christmas I'd had in years. No passive-aggressive comments about my career. No watching my kids get smaller, cheaper gifts than their cousins. No feeling like I had to be grateful for scraps of attention. Just good food, genuine laughter, and people who appreciated what I'd worked so hard to create on New Year's Eve. As I stood on the resort's deck watching fireworks over the ocean with my kids by my side, I made a resolution. I was done apologizing for my success. I was done shrinking myself to make others feel comfortable. I was done accepting crumbs from those who didn't value my worth. The resort proved I wasn't the family failure they'd made me feel like for so many years. I was a successful businesswoman who had built something beautiful from nothing. My kids were proud of me. My true friends supported me. And the family members who mattered saw what I was capable of. Mom called me on New Year's Day. "Amelia, I want to fix things between us. What will it take?" "It'll take you admitting you've treated me unfairly for years. It'll take you acknowledging there was always room at the beach house, but you gave it all to Olivia. It'll take you apologizing to my kids for making them feel unworthy at family gatherings. I can't apologize for decisions I made in the family's best interest. Then we have nothing left to talk about. Are you really going to throw away our relationship over a vacation home?" "Mom, I'm not throwing away anything. You did that years ago.